Honda is on a mission to get its sporty groove back. We've already seen the new Acura NSX. The Civic Type R was revealed at the recent Geneva Auto Show. The company's comeback as a Formula One engine supplier is underway, and now Honda has added a new, somewhat smaller, performance car to its range. First shown in concept form at the 2013 Tokyo show, the S660 is a spiritual successor to the tiny Beat Roadster of the early 1990s. Like the Beat, the S660 features a mid-engine layout with a 660cc, 3-cylinder turbo that keeps it within the parameters of a Kagura special class of ultra-small subcompacts in its home market of Japan. Sure, it looks cool, but why should Americans care? Well, as we reported in January, an inside source told us that the company is also currently working on an export version with a more powerful 1.0-liter turbo rumored to pump out more than 125 horsepower, and that it's earmarked for the United States. That's reason enough to take this little funster for a spin. From show floor to track paddock, as we arrived at Sodigora Forest Raceway, 90 minutes southeast of Tokyo, 3 S660s sat in the paddock. They looked almost identical to the 2013 concept car that spawned the new model. The S660 is the result of an in-house contest that began 4 years ago, wherein more than 400 young engineers submitted ideas for new vehicles to company bosses, and the S660 design came out on top. Honda has developed a mid-engine, rear-wheel drive chassis just for the S660, which uses an aluminum and steel structure that's stiffer than the old S2000s. The Japan spec S660 might be fitted with an uninspiring 63 horsepower engine, but we are told this chassis could take a lot more power, hence the 125 horsepower version. You can feel the rigidity, too, in high-speed corners and under heavy braking. Small car, small engine, tipping the scales at just 1830 pounds according to Honda. The S660 employs the same 3-cylinder turbocharged engine found in the popular box car. However, to improve throttle response, engineers have revised the turbo geometry to produce quicker off-the-line acceleration and stronger mid-range torque. To lift the overall performance of the engine, the red line is raised from 7,000 revolutions per minute to 7,700 revolutions per minute, while a deeper oil pan helps to cope with the higher forces during cornering and braking. The turbo spools up at about 2,500 revolutions per minute and delivers a healthy dose of torque all the way to redline. It's between 5,000 and 7,700 revolutions per minute that the engine really comes to life, though, letting out a high-pitched and metallic raspy roar that belies its tiny displacement. Like the S2000's legendary gearbox and shifter, the S660 features a positive feeling, 6-speed manual transmission with delightfully short throws and gear ratios that are superbly matched to the engine. It also has well-positioned pedals and a light clutch. Granted, there's not a lot of power on tap, but even when flung into a corner at 60 miles per hour, it's difficult to get the planted rear end to budge. Honda's agile handling assist system can brake an inside front wheel to enhance turning and cornering stability, while specially developed 16-inch Yokohama wood Neva tires provide traction levels previously unheard of in cars. All that grip and the fact that the traction control can't be switched off means there's no oversteer to play around with. But there's no understeer, either, just enough limit neutrality that's fairly rare these days. As for the steering, which is accomplished via an extra small, 13.8-inch wheel, it's weighty enough to feel substantial, offers crisp responses, and provides decent feedback about what the front tires are doing. The cabin is tight but comfortable. A 6'2" driver can fit behind the wheel and change gears without smashing his knees against the steering wheel, only just, mind you. The large, centrally located tachometer sets a sporty tone, while the dash-mounted screen offers drivers the option of a meter that displays lateral and deceleration forces in real time. Our only issues with the S660 are the lack of outright power and its fiddly soft top roof, which must be manually deconstructed and placed in the tiny trunk. But other than that, the S660 takes the K car genre to new heights. We just hope Honda can bring it to our shores.
Yeah.